what's up, and welcome back to Next Door Conversations with me, Amara. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about work husbands, work wives, work spouses, whatever you call it, the nonsense people used to do in the office that somehow I have gotten entangled in. Well, not personally entangled in, but like I've observed, I've seen it in the real life, and we need to discuss this thing because it's getting weird. All right, yeah, and we are going to be doing that on today's episode. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Amara and this is Next Door Conversations, my podcast where I talk about trending news, viral content that's happening on social media and in the world at large. If you like what you're listening to, make sure that you're following the podcast, ring notification bells so every time I drop an episode you get a notification, and also don't forget to share this with a friend because I'm sure there's someone in your circle of friends that's interested in topics as these. And also don't forget to rate the podcast. This is a 5-star podcast, so please give me 5 stars. All right, without too much yapping, let's get straight into the topic. So what spurred my interest in this topic? Well, as you know, if you are a loyal listener of this podcast, I have mentioned this phenomenon in passing, this idea of work husband or work wife or whatever. I have talked about it. I have talked about how it is nonsense, how people should not be doing this, and somehow people are still doing this. Recently, I came by a viral tweet by @Mira_Abdul_. I know that this account was created before 2016 because before 2016 was when everyone was going insane with underscores, having underscores in their names, in their handles anyway, on social media. Anyway, that's just by the way. So yeah, this particular account posted a story that got a lot of people talking, and I'm just going to read the tweet for you guys so you guys understand why people are talking about this. So it goes, Abuja girls, this is the tweet. I'm reading the tweet now. Abuja girls are actually built different. My colleague's work husband, underline that part, colleague's work husband, found out she was taken along from beggar to the office every morning and said it is an insult to her beauty. Since January ending, the man has been ordering Bolt for her from his own app, morning and night. His wife found the history on his phone and came to the office today to cause a scene. My colleague just looked at her and said, Madam, this is my impression of the lady's voice. Madam, if you want him to stop, maybe try being his peace so he doesn't have to look for it at the office. Oh my God. Why would she say that? Amara, the slap that almost landed. Abuja is not for the weak. Nobody is even saying anything. The poor woman walked away with tears in her eyes. Guys, when I say this thing blew up, it really did blow up. A lot of people were commenting on that, talking, giving their own opinions on the issue. You know how social media is now. Also, this is that opinions everywhere. People were talking, the wife disrespected herself for coming to the office. After all, it's her husband that the problem is with, not necessarily the woman that's benefiting from her husband's behavior. So if anyone should be getting a good talking to or a good smacking, is the husband. And then some people were like, no, the colleague too had no right to be talking like that. Like, how can you're receiving this favor from this man and you have the audacity to talk to the woman like in this way? It's very rude. And people were just sharing how they feel. It really, I don't know, it got me thinking a lot about this idea and how much I have hated it all this time. I feel like the idea of work husbands and work wives, it's just such a slippery slope. It's too gray an area to be in as someone who has committed yourself to another individual, especially because work is a place where let's be honest, if you are a working individual, if you have a 9 to 5, if you have a job somewhere, or maybe you're invested in something, it's a place where you spend a lot of your time, like a lot of your day is spent at work. Time that you should be spending with your children, with your spouse, with the people, who you actually should love and care about is being spent at work for a corporation or whatever. And when you're in the trenches, you're going to, build bonds with the people that you're in the trenches with. There's nothing wrong with having a work bestie. I like the concept of work bestie. Oh, that's just my pal, my work bestie, someone that I'm cool with, someone that we gel, we go and have lunch together, things are chill. But when it goes to the territory of work wife, work husband, like this is one person of the opposite sex that you're particularly fond of and enjoy spending time with and doing favors for the person, I feel like it's disrespectful. It's very disrespectful to your spouse, and it's just an invitation for nonsense. For example, what exactly was depicted in this tweet? Now, some people will hear this and say, oh, you're just over exaggerating. I mean, it's just a regular thing. It's not like you're sleeping with the person. It's not like you're, fondling the person when people are not looking. It's just a title. It's nothing more than that. But listen, just like Pringles, when you buy a pack of Pringles or maybe cookies or Maryland cookies, you say, oh, I'll just have one, it's my cheat day, even though I'm on a diet, even though I'm trying to lose 10 kg, even though I applied and did this gym membership that I want to lose weight and get my snatched body, let me just take one Pringle. No one ever takes just one Pringle. No one ever takes just one cookie. And so when you do this, when you've already established that you actually like this person, like you like their personality, you like who they are, you are going as far as to give them a title as work wife or work husband, which already means that you have singled out this person from your group of colleagues as your person. There's a high likelihood, I'm telling you, there's a high likelihood that feelings will be involved. It may not be on your own end. It may actually be from the other person towards you, and you won't notice it because in your mind, everything is kosher. But on the other end, the person is feeling this way. And then it's an invitation for disrespect. It really is an invitation for disrespect. Can't you guys remember that CEO, Coldplay CEO, those two, the HR girl and the CEO of the company that were fondling each other in a Coldplay concert? That is where work wife and work husband will lead you to. I'm unemployed right now, right? And I'm doing Fit Farm, which is probably why I use Fit Farm things and dieting as my analogy to explain how this work wife work husband thing is stupid. Anyway, so but when I was employed, I did actually take note of these things where this colleague is married, things are this way with this person, but somehow you think you can blur the lines, you can be a little bit too friendly. I feel like, me personally, when I find out that this particular colleague is married, I afford them the respect that they are due. Generally, I don't even use to blur the lines with the people that I work with, especially when it's people of the opposite sex. I will give you that respect. The day I found out that one of my close friends, that he's a daddy with one small pikin and a wife, the day I found out, I was like, yo, we need to approach this relationship, even though I was very formal, I was very okay, like regular schmegular. I was actually very respectful prior to that, but it made me more aware. I guess the word is more aware of how I relate with him and how I relate. Same thing with women. I feel like it should be a thing that men do too. Like when you find out that this colleague of yours is actually married with kids, there are certain things you should not do. Like, you shouldn't be calling at odd hours in the night. Don't care how important the work that you are doing is. Don't do that. There are certain discussions that you shouldn't be having with that person, just out of respect for the fact that they are married. There are certain things you should not even expect from that person. For example, this financial commitments that this married man made to his work wife, I guess, is one of such things. Like if I was the colleague on this, in this situation, granted, I don't know what her financial situation is and how desperate she was, but I feel like by accepting the offer, you're already putting yourself in a very, very weird situation, which from her response, I'm guessing she likes it. It's just not a place you want to be in. So why on earth would you accept it in the first place? It's probable that she may have feelings for the man's, for the woman's husband, her so-called work husband. But maybe on the man's end, is like, oh, I'm just doing this favor for this young girl who is working with me, who I feel like, since I earn more, maybe he earns more, maybe he doesn't earn more. Since I have some money, let me at least help her with this one expense that she pays for. There are lines, there are boundaries that should not be crossed, especially when we're talking about married people. Just trust me, leave married people alone. Second thing I really do not like about this is the normalization of the abnormal in culture. Yes, not murder. It's not like corruption and fraud and all those things that you can go to jail for. But still, it's wrong. It's immoral. And I always wonder, why work husband? Why work wife? Work bestie is great. It works very well. It's very platonic. It's very simple. I know it sounds ridiculous to someone, but like even the phrasing of the relationship is weird to me. Then also, why do you feel like you cannot invite your spouse into this relationship with this person? I feel like that in itself is a huge problem. Like when you get to a point where you cannot inform your partner of this friendship or invite your partner into this friendship, this is a friend of ours. It's very weird. I get the sense of, oh, I still want to be an individual. I still want to have my own friends. It does happen in that way where there are people that are friends to a couple, but then there's one person in the couple that they are more friends of. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But still, the person should not be totally blind to your spouse, and your spouse should not be totally blind to, like, they should know each other. And if someone is making such a financial commitment to you, at the very least their partner should be involved, or their partner should be aware that this is happening. I just hate how things, because I noticed it a lot when I was growing up. Like, people, you would say things, especially when I was, 18, 19, they were like, oh, you have to have your whole phase. And your whole phase, according to Urban Dictionary or whoever was trending there that was making this thing popular, is like, oh, you're supposed to go out and sleep with people and sleep with everybody and have your pick, so you figure out what you like. You're supposed to drink and find out where your limit is, and you're supposed to try out all these things and figure out if it's for you. And it's like, why on earth do I need to have several years or a dedicated period in my life where I just engage in all forms of debauchery and I get drunk and I just mess around? For what? Like, what is to be gained in this experience? Nothing. In fact, most people that do engage in this type of thing, for example, stars like, you have Miley Cyrus and all the rest of them that we grew up watching, most of them years later in their 30s, they're talking about how they absolutely regret the fact that they went through that, because they didn't have to go through that. You don't have to go through that, please. You do not. If you're listening to me right now and you have been fed that horse shit that you need to have a whole phase, you do not need to have a whole phase. Trust me, you do not. You do not. So the whole phase thing, the gay phase was a thing, guys. I'm telling you, people would actually be preaching that you should explore your feelings about people of the same sex. No, I know I'm straight. Trust me, I know I'm straight. Every person that I have loved or had a crush on since I was born has been of the opposite sex. I know I do not dream about being cuddled by a woman, or being kissed by a woman, or making love to a woman, telling a woman I love. Like, I know who I am. People were very crazy about it during the 2010s. I won't even lie. Things were flying everywhere. It was very new. It was very new territory for us. And so a lot of people were just talking out of their assholes, if I'm being honest. If you're gay, you know you're gay. Gay people know they're gay, okay? You don't need to try to be gay. You don't need to explore if you're gay. Like, if you're gay, at least the people that I know who are same-sex attracted, they know. They just know. I have never liked boys before. I have never liked girls before. Or I have liked both before. I find these people attractive. I find these people attractive too. I have dreams where I'm doing this with this person. You get what I'm saying? It's like straight people. It's like us, like how we normally are. And we know that we are how we are. So you do not need a gay face. You know who you are when you're your most youthful, innocent version of yourself. You know exactly who you are in that moment. And the world will try and tell you that, oh no, you don't know who you are. You're someone that needs to do all these things and have all these experiences so you can actually find who you are. But you know who you are. And yeah, that's how I feel about that. So in summary, guys, boundaries are very important. Dead the idea of a work husband or a work wife. If you were planning to have one, please respect your spouses and do not buy anybody's boats for them. All right. Do let me know your thoughts on social media at Amara next door, at @nextdoorpod_. Hey, we have an underscore in our own at. But anyway, that was because at @nextdoorpod was taken. That's besides the point, guys. Let me know your thoughts as always, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.